Well, good evening, everybody. I am actually really surprised to see so many people here. But hello, hello. And, I always say this, so I know people laugh at me whenever I come on here and say it. I'm not going to be on here that long. I do want to go to bed at a reasonable time. I really do. I didn't sleep very well last night. I woke up like feeling super sick, and, I had a really hard time falling back to sleep. Um, yes, yes. Oh, you're holstering what's going on that's needs holstering. Hold on, I'm trying to catch up. Oh yeah, I kind of was clicking around to see what was going on. Um and seeing what was going on everywhere. Hi Kelly. And yeah, I do keep bumping the time. I had to. I had my part 1, actually all of it's due today, but I only turned in part of it because I have up to a week to turn it in and I only get like a 10% markdown if I don't turn it in on time. So I've been doing my finals for school, and when I finished them, I was like, oh, I haven't taken Molly for a walk, and she really deserves to because she's actually been really nice and quiet today. So I was like, oh, I'll do that for her. And then, hey, Rhoda Gal, and hello, Michelle, of course, and Kelly Ann. And let's see. But yeah, I mean, to, the past couple days have just been insane. Watching a Pumbaa video. Um, and I have not caught up on everything today. Michelle, I had a relatively chill Sunday, seeing as I wasn't on YouTube so much, which is the ultimate chill these days, especially. And well, I was doing homework all day, so like my neck hurts because I was sitting up in bed and because I can't sit at my desk for too long. I'm sitting at it now, but I always like it. It kills my back to do it all the time. But my day, I can't complain. It's super windy. It was nice. It was like in the 60s. Hi, where's Kenny? But it was in the 60s today, and it was kind of cloudy, but it was sunny for a little bit. I didn't get to go outside too much though, so it is what it is. All in all, not a bad Sunday. I hope all of you, hi New Orleans lady. I hope all of you guys had a great weekend as well. And I mean, like, in your real lives, I don't know how many of us really had a great weekend here on YouTube, but maybe some of us did. Maybe some of us did. And I've caught bits and pieces of things that have gone on. And like I said, I am just staying out of it. And I think that is the best course of action. Actually, I think that's the best course of action, like all around, because yeah, this has nothing to do with me. And I don't know why I would want to put myself into that. 67 yesterday. Oh, it was 67 here today, or around, probably lower than that, but 33 today. Geez, that's quite a difference there. So yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I've kind of been doing my rounds, and I was kind of listening here and there, and the more I think about it, the more I'm comfortable with just kind of staying out of things. Yeah, Kellyanne, they are insane. They really are, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to get involved in that. I don't. Because why would I? Why would I want that? And yeah, That's why I'm here. I want to decompress. Hey, Navigator. I want people to be able to decompress a little bit. Like, we can talk about stuff that people want to talk about, but we don't have to take it to another level here. I'm not actually capable of it. So 82 tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to the summer this time. I don't know. Last year I wasn't so excited for it, but I am this year. I think I'm ready for some sunshine. I really do. Um, but yeah, it seems like everybody has been live today for the most part. And like I said, I tried to catch bits and pieces of what I could, but I didn't listen to any of them for very long because, first of all, a lot of it was just replaying that live from yesterday. The live, because that is the live, with well, everybody knows the live I'm talking about. I don't need to. I don't even know who everybody was on that, to be honest. Because usually I just have my headphones on, so I wasn't looking at the screen, so I didn't see any names. Obviously, you can recognize Natasha's voice, you can recognize Country Joe, you can recognize Jessica's. But other than that, I didn't really recognize the other voices that were on that. But that's the live that people seem to be playing over and over and over again, and like dissecting it. And quite honestly, that didn't hold my interest. Hearing that once was quite enough for me. And yes, it was quite enough for me to hear once, let alone, over and over being paused every 5 seconds. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to turn it off. I'm just going to turn it off because usually I'll like maybe turn the volume down a little bit and like kind of listen to it in one ear. But I'm like, you know what? I just can't do it. I just can't do it anymore. Hey, Brittany. It was too much to watch. I mean, I'll be honest. I hadn't heard Natasha quite like that before. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've ever heard her like that. And I was like, oh my God, nothing would shock me anymore. But here's the thing. At this point, like, people, it seems like, it's kind of a hard decision. Hey, that girl. And the reason it's kind of a hard decision is because it's like, the right thing for, right, the kids, exactly, Michelle, that's what I'm saying. Even when I'm on here, I put my, my kid friendly face because I have family that watches this. And I don't want to, I can't, like, I can't. And also, if that's not my nature. So, like, I've said that I have a temper. I've said that I can get angry, and I can get angry. Um, right, right. No, I get that, Michelle. I get that. Um, I think I know what you mean. But, for me too, though, it's also like, because, I have like parents and stuff. Yeah, even a goat. Exactly. I heard that today. I was like, what is going on? But yeah, I was just like, I don't, maybe what I consider losing my temper and getting angry is much different than other people's, because even at my angriest, I'm more like muttering under my breath, swearing, but nothing like that. So that was completely new to me. But it seems like what I think is the right thing to do is to kind of just do my own thing, keep on going on my channel and do what I want to do and just stay out of it. But it's like the more you try to stay out of it, the more people try to bring you in by like making nonsense up about, like, every day I hear something about myself that I had no idea. And it's really, it gets frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It does. It gets frustrating because all I want to do is like, stand on like the rooftop and just scream as loud as I can. I didn't do that, but it would be pointless. Because with how people think on here, the minute you do that, people just think you're being defensive or deflecting, and it's really pointless. So I'm just gonna let it go and just let the pieces fall where they may. And if people want to believe things about me, then whatever. It's YouTube. I like to think though that people get a good enough impression of me on here, and they get to know me a little bit. Hi, mom of two men, and they'll know deep down inside that I would never do half the stuff I've heard about myself. So that's all I can count on. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to let it go. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I think that's probably the best way to handle it, because people want you to be involved. Yeah, yeah. It's rough for me, especially when everyone's talking. I'm the queen of interrupting, so I'm gonna have some trouble when I do my panels, because I interrupt constantly, and I am gonna have to figure it out. But I did want to announce that I did a community post about it too. Actually, a lot of people have reached out to me who want to come and talk about their adoption stories, or want to hear mine. So I am going to do that. And not only am I going to do that, my adoptive mother has agreed to come on to help me tell my story. And she also happens to be a licensed social worker and adoption specialist. So I feel like if there is anybody who would be a good choice to add to that live, it would definitely be my mom. And I think that'll be interesting. I'm going to have to probably be sitting next to her, because I can't imagine her figuring out how to do StreamYard. She's not exactly technologically inclined, although she's had to learn how to do it, since the pandemic. So, I mean, I have faith in her. I have faith in her. But I think that's going to be good. I know there's a couple people who are, Detective Turtlegum, you are just causing so much trouble all over. And I'll be honest with you, my friend. If that is your picture, I'm not sure why you don't want to show your face. If that is you that Natasha posted, I don't know why you wouldn't want to show your face. Because you're not difficult to look at. I'll tell you that. But I was like, what is going on with all that? I was like, why are there so many turtles? Why are there turtles everywhere? Because I popped in her chat and I was just like, all I saw was just green turtles, and I was like, oh God. you're far from it. Well, if that's your picture, then I don't know. I disagree with you. But I don't know. Maybe that's not you. Maybe that's not you. I'll play along. I'll play along. But she seems to be finding pictures of people that aren't actually them. So, to be fair, to be fair, yeah. Well, no, yeah. Natasha, did she take it down? Turtle Gum. She. Yeah. You're confused. So Natasha on a community post posted a picture of a young man who um she put, guess who this is, and obviously people started guessing that it was Detective Turtlegum, and that is who Natasha believes Turtlegum is. I don't know who you like. I don't know how she would know you. I have, yeah, okay, that one, right. Michelle. And there's no shame in that. Well, oh, has she admitted that? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she did put the wrong granny pic. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that she has been finding pictures that I don't know if they're being sent to her, and she's not fact checking them, or I have no idea. But if that's not you, and we'll go with that, Turtle Gum. We can go with that if you want. A school teacher, right? Is that who it was? I didn't know who the woman was, but I did see that picture, and I was like, that's not Jess. Like, what are you talking about? So yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Okay, if the picture's not you, we can go with that. I'll play. I'll okay. All right. Well, I don't know who it is, but I don't know why she would think that's you. Um, I was like, what? But okay, all right. You're still welcome in here. I mean, I'll just look at you as a turtle. You can be a turtle. Okay. No, go with what it is. Okay. Yeah, and I don't think that's fair though. If people like who aren't involved in this, their pictures are being posted for hundreds of people to see, or thousands ultimately. I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me, honestly. Okay, it's not you. All right. Okay. We'll go with that. And yeah, you're just causing all sorts of trouble. All sorts of trouble all over today. I don't know. Um whoever I have no idea who anybody is. I don't know. I've been around a long time, but I don't even recognize some of the names that I'm hearing. And that just shows you like how much I pay attention to things. Yeah. Yeah, the Doxton, right, no, that's very true. If that, obviously not if that, it was not her. So, whoever that was, had her picture put on, the internet for a lot of people to see, and has no idea. And for whatever reason, I think I'm not alone in saying that that's not really cool. That's really, really not something that you should be doing. Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And I don't know. I think I had a decent Sunday, Brittany. I had to do homework all day long, so it was boring and frustrating. And it's my own fault for leaving things to the last minute. But you know what? I really like, I'm glad I kind of took a step back because YouTube was starting to creep into my life and affecting me mentally. And I think it's because it was like a perfect storm of stuff in my personal life plus what was going on YouTube. But now that like all of that is off my shoulders, I feel like I can just do my own thing and let the pieces fall as they may. And I don't want to fight with anybody. I really don't. I'm not a fighter. Like I'm really not. I'm actually very not confrontational. I'm probably the opposite. But I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it because I should stand up for myself. I shouldn't, I'm not going to be walked over. I'm not going to have anything like that. But at the same time, I'm also not going to go looking for a fight, and I'm going to pick my battles because not everything is worth my time and energy, especially on the internet. And I think that's really important for people to remember, 100%. And I'm looking forward to doing some other stuff. I think a lot of people, like I said though, that was the thing. Every single channel that she went to, like that I saw for the most part, yeah, Turtle Gum is respectful here, and I really do appreciate that. And I think that is a showcase of how great my chat is and why it's special. That's really something I appreciate and enjoy about this. She had same name found on Twitter. What the heck? I don't get this. This is taking, that's what I'm saying though. Like, I don't know the reasons for why people have suddenly, made peace. And I'm all for that. Like, if people really want to make peace and they want to do that, like, I'm all for, like, stopping the fight. I don't like the fighting. And it's to the point where every channel I went on today was that live playing. And I was like, there's no content on right now. And that upset me because I was like, I want to listen to something, but I don't want to listen to this for the 1,000th freaking time. And I appreciate that, Turtle Gum. I really do. And I don't know. I can't help but wonder the reasons for why people do what they do. I hope it's for right reasons, but with everything that's gone on, it really makes you wonder if people just don't want that kind of stuff happening to them, which is completely understandable. I totally get that, but I don't know. For me, I can't jeopardize like what I stand for that, because I'm gonna be honest, as of right now, like, I'm not really happy with anybody, and that doesn't mean I don't like people. It just means that I'm, like, right now gonna stay right where I am, and that's how it's gonna be until things calm down. Because it gets getting so bad that I can't imagine it's not affecting people, creators included. And I feel like you'd have to not be human. I think it goes beyond thick skin. Honestly, yeah, the drama is getting to a lot of people, and even people with thick skin. Like, I think it's gone beyond that. Why she insists stand for somewhere you fall. Wait, Navigator, I'm confused. Hold on, let me read that. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know. I think it's hi Bryn. Till things calm down. Well, that girl, here's the thing. I don't know how long you've been part of this community. But before, like, until recently, there would be like weeks of like intense drama, like maybe a week or two. Yeah, totally fine, Kellyanne, totally fine. And then it would kind of calm down, and there would be a week or two of not anything crazy, and then obviously like two people would find something. Oh, so, okay, so you've been here. I always found that the drama wasn't as consistent as it's been now, and it gets old. It really does. And I lose interest, and I miss the content that used to be here. I miss because there are people that used to do there are people that still do content. I want to make that very clear. Melissa Jade being one of them. Melissa Jade does have good content, and still does true crime and stuff like that, which I appreciate. Because I need like something like that every once in a while, more than once in a while. You beat her at Yahtzee? I used to like Yahtzee. Yeah, it's a little right, true crime with a little drama here and there, but now it's like all drama with like it's like the captain. Oops, all drama. There's no nothing. That I know what community you're kind of talking about. And that was not my not a community. Maybe I know there was some overlap, but I might have either missed that or I wasn't a part of those channels. I was Watts Island almost solely. I don't remember that at all, but I've heard about it since, and that's nuts too. Yeah, I miss it too without borders. I really like the deep diving into true crime and like the having fun. And a part of me, I don't blame people, because like if someone's coming at you and you're getting attacked, I totally get feeling like you need to respond to that. That makes sense to me. But at the same time, it's like, it just, I don't know. I didn't do the conspiracy. I came. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was, I don't know. I guess what I was watching was Watts Island. Yeah, I used to frequent Cher's channel. And I didn't always, and Critical K was another one I frequented. I mean, those were the ones that would come up, and I had never done lives before, like ever. So, the fact that if someone can hold my interest when they're doing a live, and I can tolerate it for more than like 10 minutes, that's a talent. You have a voice and you have a presence that resonates with me. Because it's hard. Yeah, Killer Kids. Yes. I actually had something like that in the works as well, with a discussion about whether children should be, charged. There are some kids that, have made a mistake. As a couple cases that come to mind, immediately, where there are a lot of people that are sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole under the age of 18. And we all know that the frontal lobe of the brain doesn't develop until, you're in your 20s. So is that fair to sentence children to life in prison without the chance of parole? Because it happens. There's a few states that, I don't know if it's a federal or a state law. I'm not sure. I'd have to look into it again. But I did a project on it in college, and then I've kind of kept up with some of them. And yeah, yeah, and the one of the cases that I really want to talk about with that is the Scream killings, which is Brian Draper and Tori Ademchik or something, both of which are in prison since they were 16 and will be for the rest of their lives without any chance of parole. They did brutally kill a classmate, so it's not like but it's an interesting case with like some twists and turns and a lot of he said, she said. One of the boys' mother wrote a book called The Guilty Innocent, and I have it. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to. And yeah, I get what you're doing too, Brittany, which is also nice. That's also awesome. And I wanted to do that, and I wanted to do like, the science fiction, which comes from all of my nerdy, listening to Coast to Coast AM for hours on end. And, because I really like that conspiracy theory kind of stuff, like, aliens, cryptozoology, stuff like that. It doesn't mean I believe in all of it definitely doesn't mean I believe in all of it, but some of it's interesting to listen to. And some of it's just funny to listen to because you can tell that even the host is like, oh my God, I just invited some crazy person onto the show. But, even, you never know. You never know. Yeah, I got called out in Critical K as well. And I'll tell you what, that was probably the last time I went into a chat. And I was pretty traumatized from that. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Many negative feelings about the justice system. I would love to know people's opinions on that too, because I feel like in a lot of ways it's unfair. And I don't know if we're serving justice all the time. Well, oh, Navigator, I didn't know that about you. Oh no. Well, so Navigator, my dad was on the parole board where I live for 24 years. So I used to job shadow, not job, well, I guess job shadow. I used to go to work with him sometimes because I was a criminal justice major. So I was able to sit in on, hi Megan, hi Abby. I was able to sit in on like victim impact statements where, people who were coming up on their date of parole, the victims' families would come in and talk to the parole board about why they want or don't want the inmate to be released. And, it's a hard choice. And some of the victims' families, like, it broke my heart, and I'm so sorry for you. That's really awful. That's probably one of the worst things that can possibly happen to somebody. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. In the town next to you. Oh, wow. Yeah, stuff like that doesn't happen around here. We have a lot of gang killing stuff, more so than anything else. A lot of that. But other than that, we haven't had any like crazy stuff like that, which is a good thing, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of cases that I'm really interested in, and a lot of them aren't like the mainstream ones, which is a blessing. And a lot of people want to, but there's a lot of cases that I wish were on here. Like I put them into the search bar and I find nothing. And you should have been informed about that. That's not okay. They're supposed to inform you. I don't know what state you're in. Where I am, you are informed. 100%. That's awful. Don't jinx us, B. Yeah, well, Rodigal, you live here, so you know what I'm talking about. There was actually a shooting not very far from me. Not even that long ago. I was like, oh my God. I think it was actually on my street, but like way further down because my street's like really long. Yeah, Navigator, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like I said, that's probably one of the worst things that could happen to somebody and have to go through. And I am so sorry you had to go through that. That's rough. I have no words. and I feel really bad, especially with that experience with them. There was one in Pawtucket today? No way. Not yeah, wow, okay. That doesn't well, actually, you know what? That doesn't surprise me. I might have heard those sirens, I'm not sure. Um, yeah. Going forward, what is my channel gonna be? Well, that's a good question. So, I haven't quite decided that. What I would like to do mostly, what I came onto YouTube to do was there is a Chicory is going to get his teeth done. He has an appointment in May, which was the earliest appointment that they could do. So I don't know. I'm going to keep calling to see if they have a cancellation that we could get him in for. But we do have a date in May for him to get those teeth removed and the work done that he needs. And I am so grateful to those of you who donated to that. I can't thank you guys enough. Honestly, I felt like such a hypocrite and horrible person having to do that. But you know what? Sometimes it's okay to ask for help, and I've had to tell myself that because we don't always have to do things all on our own. And that's always how I've been. I get really embarrassed having to ask for help. But my concentration, ultimately what I was doing, there's going to be a documentary coming out, I believe in the early summer, that is about exposing these troubled teen industries, like these programs that's basically child abuse for hire, where I was at one of these places, and I am in this documentary. So I was thinking it was gonna come out in the spring, but it's the podcast that's coming out in the spring. So I was a little confused. So that's why I kind of started this early. But I'm going to be doing a lot of that, but I'm also going to be doing a lot of true crime, and like I said, like weird, true, and like freaky stuff, like just like weird conspiracy stuff, but not even just that, like the things that people are embarrassed to admit that they think. I want to do a lot of that. I want to do like spooky stuff, but mostly true crime. And I'm not sure if I'd be any good at it. So I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. And if it clicks, because I didn't think I'd be good at doing lives either. I thought I was going to suck at it so badly. And I actually think I'm doing a pretty good job with the lives. And because I re-listen to them. So I want to stay out of drama as much as possible. The thing about it is that I will do, some drama only because I'm part of this community. And I always like to make that clear to people, because there have been times where I feel like, I should have made an alt to separate myself from my channel, because I want to socialize with people that I like and I'm friends with, and sometimes things get murky. But you know what? I am who I am, and I don't want to do that. It's no. This is my channel. This is my name on here. This is what we're doing. But I definitely want to touch on that, because imagine talking, I'm sure many of you have tried. Have you tried to talk to somebody in real life about what goes on in this community? Because I have, and they think you're crazy. So sometimes you want to talk about what you're seeing, and that's really the point of my chat, is to kind of process what's going on, because a lot of us need to talk about it or want to talk about it, but maybe not want to be part of it. And that's kind of what what I made this for, and it's gonna continue evolving. I do have some plans, and I have a lot of, like I said, I have an adoption panel planned. I've had a couple people reach out. My mom is going to be participating in that one to help me tell my story, and I think that's going to be really awesome, because, well, first of all, it confirms who I say I am, because there seems to be some discussions about that, but that's first and foremost. And she'll probably be on camera. She will be on camera. So and also I've said, if anybody is an adoptive, if you were adopted, if you've adopted a child, or you're a birth mom, I'm really interested. If people want to share their stories, that there's a lot of interest in that. So you've met my mom, there to go. You've met her. And, we've probably met at some point. I'm sure of it. So, yeah, they ask questions like, why are you watching that girl? They absolutely do. And they do. And they're like, oh my God, like what are you talking about? What about recliners and grannies and, whatever else like that? They think you're crazy. Well, Kellyanne, every day I, get sent things of, people saying all sorts of things about me that I didn't know about myself. And sometimes not upsets me, but sometimes, I start reacting and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get on here and clarify. But then I'm like, you know what? Who cares? Whatever. If people want to say that, if people want to assume things, let them, because it's pointless. It's pointless to even try to defend yourself. But yes, I think we've been seeing a lot of that lately. There's a lot of misinformation and lies and exaggerations and, all sorts of nonsense going on to a lot of people. I just, didn't realize it was happening to me. um, but here we are. Your niece was adopted? Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I've had an interesting adoption story. I mean, obviously I'm very grateful, and in hindsight's 2020, but I never felt like I belonged anywhere. I always felt like, the black sheep. I've never felt like the first time I started actually feeling like I belonged anywhere was actually this past July. So, that if that, that tells you just how long it's been for me. Yeah. Oh, you have an adopted sibling? That's awesome. You're there's so many people with, like, adoption touching their lives in some way. And some people live their whole lives thinking that somebody that they weren't adopted. I can't imagine finding that out as an adult or an older child. I'm really glad that, my mom and my parents were always very open about that. I knew right away as soon as I can remember. I mean, my birth mom was in my life for, sporadically here and there. I met my dad when I was 19, and now they're married. So I went to their wedding in 2018, and that was an experience, I'll tell you what. But yeah, I think that a lot of people have asked me about my story. I didn't think that it was anything interesting. So I didn't realize that that was a topic people would even want to hear about, but I guess people do. And who am I to? I love to talk about myself. So but I also want to hear other people's stories, because I think that's interesting. And I want to, that's the other thing. A lot of people feel comfortable coming here, and they feel comfortable sharing things about themselves that, I've been told people don't feel comfortable sharing other places because they think it'll be weaponized against them. But I don't do stuff like that. I would never, like, I can't do that kind of stuff. It's just not in my nature. I don't care how angry I get. I'm not going to share private conversations. That's not going to be a thing. I can't do that to people. That's how, like, what's the point ultimately? There's no point. Except it makes you look like, I mean, in my opinion anyway. Getting into bed. Well, good night, mom of two men. Right. Yeah, some people, like my sister, has a really, really different adoption story. She has no interest in knowing. She knows the name of her adoptive mom, but she has very different feelings about hers than I have with mine, because I do have a relationship with mine. Yeah, they were foster parents. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Roddy Mama. I have the utmost respect for people who take in a child that's not their own into their family, because a lot of kids, especially if you adopt older, because everybody wants a baby, right? Like, everybody wants, and even the babies, like myself, like, I was born not very well. Like, my mom, did not stop abusing drugs when she was pregnant with me. I had no prenatal care, zero. When I was born very early, I was 4 pounds. I had to go through detox. I was very sickly. And that kind of stuff affects your brain when it's developing. And, I think it was always expected that I'd have, some issues, and I do. I do. But I make it work, and I'm a success story. And my parents tell me that all the time. They tell me I'm special. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but my tone of voice was kind of kidding. But and everybody, if you take in an older child, I mean, with all sorts, a lot of them come with a lot of, for lack of a better word, baggage. Like, a lot of these kids have gone through, like, to hell and back. They've never had a place where they felt like they belonged. They've never been able to, like, bond with a parental figure because they keep getting moved around. And it takes a big heart to, try to make that work. I have the utmost respect. I really, really do. I've often thought about doing it myself, but I currently have enough to handle with that. I don't, I don't need that right now, at all. So, but if things were to, calm down here in my life, then, maybe I would. Yeah, hearing thing. Right. And I think a lot of us can, it's so weird how similar a lot of our stories are. there's definitely some common themes that people in this community have dealt with. There's a lot of commonality in that. And when I first came on here, I would always say the one thing that we have all in common is, we've been in this community and Natasha Cooper. But I want to change that. I really want to make this more so, we're a community because we connect on other levels, because we really do. It's crazy. Yeah. Right. Oh, my birth mom, I'm the last of five, and she ultimately only ended up with custody of one. And that is my sister, who won't even acknowledge that I exist, and I have nieces and nephews that will never know that I exist. So, yeah, Kellyanne, I totally get that. I totally get that. I don't know if you have any contact with your siblings. I only have contact with a brother, my half brother, who is, I guess technically we're like Irish twins or whatever. Not quite. He was born in July of '87. I'm November of '88. So, he's almost exactly a year older than me. But I don't know, like, two of them were closed adoptions. I've seen pictures of my oldest sister. My birth mom had her first child when she was 13. And I think she had me at 21, I want to say. But yeah, so my birth mom is also a success story, because she's really gotten her life together. But everybody's adoption story is different, right? Like, I think it's interesting how that ends up, or why people choose that they do or don't want to know their adoptive parents. With the introduction of the DNA tests, that's been opening up a lot of doors. That it's a double-edged sword. It's a good and a bad thing. For me, it confirmed that my dad was who my dad was, because there was some debate over, I was the product of an affair. So there was some, but I look almost exactly like my birth dad. So I never had a doubt in my mind. But yes, I am a baby. Comparatively to a lot of the people on here. Yes, I am. And but I have always connected more with people older than me. I was always really bullied in elementary school, so I spent most of my time connecting with like teachers and older people, because they were kind to me. So that's always stuck. So usually older is like my people. If I do a live, give it yeah, absolutely, Navigator. I need to check with my mom, because I really would like her to be part of my story. Because she's much better at relaying information. She has a really nice voice to listen to, and yeah, I think that she would be a great addition for me to tell mine. But I will absolutely let you know. I will have to get with her to see when's good for her, because she is quite busy. But I would definitely love to include you in that. I've had a few people reach out. I've actually had more people reach out than I thought. Sometimes that's a really private thing for people that they don't really necessarily want to be a part of, or sometimes it's triggering, so they don't want to listen to it. And I get that too. I have a hard time listening to panels about domestic violence, or I'm sorry, some people prefer that be abbreviated, but I actually can't listen to lives about that. Not because I'm not interested, but because it is very triggering for me. Because it's so true. Absolutely, Kellyanne. My sister won't talk to me because I think she's quite bitter that she was the only one who had to grow up in a really less than ideal home. I think that is my opinion. I don't know. I had contact with her until when I was a kid, up until maybe I was like 10 or so. But I've reached out to her on Facebook. I've many times, and she blocked me. So, that's a pretty strong indicator that she does not want to have a relationship with me. And maybe that'll change. Because she's married with 5 beautiful kids that I would love to meet. But otherwise, I have my niece, who's my brother's child, who is wonderful. And that's really all I have for now. But at my age, and you don't see much upside to me having a channel, Chowder. I do it for fun. I like doing this. I like to come on here and connect with people. That's why I'm here. I mean, I get it all done. I'm not looking to do this for my profession. And I'm sorry that you lost your brother, Roddy Mama. That must have been really hard. I definitely think that would be really that obviously that's really hard. I'm so sorry. There's a lot of loss in this community too, let me tell you. Um, but yeah, I'm on here because I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to you guys. I don't really want to talk at you. I really would like to have more panels so I can talk over you, like, in true Emma ADHD fashion. But yeah, I mean, I was like, why not me? I saw a lot of people had channels, and I wanted to tell my story before I had it told for me in the documentary. So that was, originally what I was going to come on here to do. But, then I was like, I want to talk about what I'm seeing around me. So I started doing that as well. I started making videos. I've gotten much better at it. I'm not fabulous at it, but I'm learning. And, they're very time consuming. So I do them quite sparingly. Um, quite sparingly. And, I would like to do more of them, as I learn how to do them, maybe get better at them. But then I was like, I was always thinking to myself, like, I hear people go live for hours and hours, and be engaging, and like the chat really enjoyed them. And I was telling because I'm a self doubter. I put myself down way too much. I don't give myself enough credit. That is 100% for sure. So I was like, okay, I don't think I could do that. But then I was like, you know what? Why not me? Why not? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? So I did, and I enjoy this. I enjoy coming on here. I look forward to it. And Chowder, to be fair, just being here has had a lot of people like, I see them as like, Ursula's tentacles, pulling people in that, really wanted nothing to do with this. Because I've spoken about things or whatever, or that they just don't like that I'm just not saying anything at all. I'm not really sure what has sparked this, but it has been unpleasant for me over the past week or 2 weeks. I will admit that. But the more I've thought about it, the more I've realized that it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, if I turn off my computer, who cares what people think? Like, if people want to believe like nonsense, then I guess that's how it's going to be, because I know who I am. I know what I've done, and I don't like seeing people hurting either, Navigator. It breaks my heart, actually. It does. Um, even if you've come on here and you've done some stuff that you're not like proud of, or that might be like, nobody deserves some of the stuff I've seen lately. Not a single person. Doesn't matter what you've done. It doesn't matter what you've dished out. I don't like it. It's not my style. I don't resolve conflict that way. I can't hurt people like that. I can't. I can't. And hold on, I feel like I missed some things. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to read everything. I missed some things. But yeah, like I said, yeah, Kellyanne, I'd love to have you, and Navigator, and anybody else who would like to be a part of that adoption thing, or even come and listen. That's going to be a good one. Good night, where's Kenny? And there's a lot of people hurting, and that's what I'm trying to do here. People are like, why are you here? And I'm just like, first of all, why can't I be here? Why can't I be a channel that is part of this community? Because I like you guys. I enjoy hanging out with you guys and talking to you. Like, for me, a lot of it is the connections that I make. That's what a lot of this is for me. It's a way for me to connect with people that I like to talk to. And I've met a lot of great people from YouTube. And it doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, people will be like, my first videos were concert footage and stuff, and guitar videos and stuff. So, it wasn't all Natasha Cooper stuff. And obviously I've kind of given that a break, because first of all, videos are very time consuming. Second of all, I've realized that this is not something I want to do. I would like to do so. I think there's room for something else right now. Yeah, Roddy Mama, that would be great. I'd love to, for you to have that. I don't know. I'm not sure if my story, but maybe, maybe, and maybe somebody else's would resonate with you. I would love that. That's the point that I want to do here. I want to help. I feel like a lot of people feel like they don't have a place to go. They don't have anywhere that's like feeling really positive lately. And I want to change that, because a lot of us do. We like to talk to each other. I mean, I see so many people consistently interacting with the same people. So I can imagine that for a lot of you guys too, this is something, it's like spending time with your friends. But when you're trying to spend time with your friends and everything is just, out of control, and just, you're listening to things and it's just this awful stuff people doing, and it gets to you after, you wouldn't, I think that's just human. And it starts to affect you to have to hear these things, especially when you grow to care about a creator, and their feelings and their well-being. I can imagine that also, doesn't help, how you feel about that. Yeah, I know that I've had feelings like that before. But that's another thing I wanted to do. I don't want to just come on here and talk shit about people all the time. Like, I just don't. There's enough channels that do that. Enough channels that do that. There's enough channels that I see trying to start up right now that want to do that, and I don't know, that rubs me the wrong way too. Like, if you want to have a channel, that's great. Like, but why you would want to? I don't know, guys. You guys know what I'm trying. A lot of you know what I'm trying to say, and you know exactly because I've talked to you privately about it, but or you've seen it yourself. Yeah, I'm not an NC channel though. That girl, I I never what I intended to do when I first came on here. Why I did that though is because I wanted to talk about the behaviors, because some of the stuff that was happening kind of like fascinated me, that was going on. I had no idea that stuff happened on YouTube. So yes, I first started out with that, and I had personal reasons for it that I haven't shared with many people as to why I was upset about it. But I've calmed down since then. But ultimately, I was going to do that, but I was also going to switch on to other creators as well. It wasn't supposed to be just that, but it kind of took off from that, if that makes sense. That's what people wanted to talk about. No, I get it. I get it. That's what people wanted to talk about. So, that's what I went with. But then I stopped, and I've also made a lot of stuff that is about like other topics, but is applicable for stuff here as well. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure what like my end game was. I think what I wanted to do was just talk about the behaviors. I didn't really want to talk about, people in particular, except if I was, sure about how I felt. Because sometimes how I feel fluctuates. It depends. It depends what's going on, and I am all for that people can change. For the most part, there are some people that if you've done things to me that I didn't deserve, I didn't do anything to warrant those things, I'm not looking to be friends, because if you're capable of doing that to me, why would I want to have that happen again? You know what I mean? So there are people that I'll keep at arm's distance, and I'll be civil, I'll be cordial, I won't be, I'll be pleasant, but I'm not going to be friends with them. That's not going to happen. So yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Roddy Mama. I mean, there's guys, there really is. There's a lot of loss. There's a lot of loss in this community. 95% of people. That's right, that girl. That's right. Like I said, the reason I came on here, I just ended up starting my channel a little bit early because I was making videos and I was sending them to people because I was, talking like Rhodagal. I talked to her. Actually, she was one of the first people I talked. Actually, she was probably one of the first people. And I was like, you know what? Should I post these videos? Because I was like, I think my videos are pretty good. And I haven't seen anything quite like it. And, she was like, yeah, you should post it. And I posted it and people really liked it. So I was like, okay, I could do more of these. And that's kind of like where I went with that. But I was trying to do it from like a psychological standpoint. But I wanted to talk about those things from a fun, not fun, but, fun to keep people engaged and make sure people watch it. Hi, Froggy. And hi, Anne. Yeah, you're another one that I think wanted to participate in my panel with that, and I'm excited about that. I was just talking about it, and yeah, right. Oh, you became that's right. You are a funeral director. I think I've seen you say that before. What an interesting career choice. I actually think that's really interesting, and I get why that might go hand in hand with having a lot of loss in your life. I think that could either be really triggering or a really good direction. So I'm hoping for you it was a positive thing that would help you kind of work through some stuff. Because I've actually met people that it's done both too. Interestingly enough, because I'm kind of like, I used to be kind of in like the alternative scene. I'm kind of a metal chick, I love new metal, pop punk. So, I was dressed in all black, with the pants with the zippers all over them and, my hair all crazy colors and stuff. So, I've met a lot of people that have done some like, depressing career choices, in my opinion. But you are helping people, that girl. You absolutely are. And that's the idea that my friend goes with as well, that you're really being there for people at some of their lowest moments, and you're able to provide that for a loved one, and I think that that's really great. I think that's really great. Yeah, that's right, you did too, Rodigal. You worked at oh, yeah, that's not for me. That's not for me. I have a morbid curiosity for things, and I certainly am not like squeamish, that kind of sort of. It really depends. I do have a morbid curiosity, so I've seen some things that I wish I hadn't. One of those things being, I'm sure many of you have seen the documentary "Don't Fuck with Cats." Luca Magnotta did film a snuff film, and it is out there. And somebody sent me a link once, and I didn't realize what I was clicking on. I thought it was like maybe a YouTube video or something that was maybe like a documentary about that. But then I'm like, this doesn't look like this isn't a YouTube link. But I clicked on it, and I don't ever wish to see that again. That's for sure. But I have many experiences like that. That's like you can't look away, because I think we're human, and a lot of us do watch things. Also, Rody Gal, the fact that the station nightclub fire was filmed from when it started to when all of the screaming stopped, and we know why. I think 100 people died, and a couple hundred were really, some of them really badly injured. I sat in on some of those victim impact statements for the parole hearing. And my dad has a lot to say about that too, which I thought that was interesting, that we both were kind of part of that case. Me, like, not in an official way, but I followed it. I think everybody in Rhode Island knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody. That that's how it works here. But that was something, and I didn't really even know all the details until recently. So, yeah, let's see. Right, and that's what I'm trying to provide, and I don't think I have a lot. I have, Michelle, when I tell you that I've lived a really interesting life, when I tell you that I've experienced so many things, I really have, and it's to a point where, like, people think I'm making it up, but like, I have pictures. So it's like pictures, or it didn't happen, but I do. I do. They're like, "Oh, there's no way you've traveled to all those places." Well, I did, and it was when I was a kid too. But I didn't appreciate most of what I've done at the time, and I should have, because I'll probably never have those opportunities ever again. But I've done some really, really awesome stuff in my lifetime. I've done some really awful stuff in my lifetime, but I've also done some really cool stuff, and I do have a lot of stories. That's for sure. But I'm glad that, like, if I can provide that for people, like a calmer experience. Like, I'm not trying to compete with anybody on here either. I want to make that really clear. Like, I'm not trying to come on here and do something like, I go to school for marketing. So for me, it's like, positioning yourself in the market. You either do something better or you do something different. And I like to think that I'm doing something different, targeting a different target audience. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing, and that means I'm not like a direct competitor of anything. You guys know what I'm trying to say. So I don't think that I don't like it when people think that I'm competing with them, because what I'm doing here isn't the same thing. And I think people like that. It doesn't mean that, like, yeah, I think people like having all sorts of things. There's room for all of us here. You don't have to. That's why I asked in my poll. Good night, Rowdy Gal. Thank you for saying that, because I think I'm being quite boring tonight, actually, if I'm honest. But I walk in a cemetery almost every day, Kellyanne. Actually, fun fact, it's a cemetery where H.P. Lovecraft was buried. I probably shouldn't have told you that, but I'm not there every day. But yeah, which is an author. I don't know if any of you are like familiar with Lovecraft, but he's actually from Rhode Island, so that is where he's buried, and his grave is always covered in, like, octopus little figurines and stuff. I'm actually like a huge history buff too. Like, I travel all over to different cemeteries. There's one in Salem, Massachusetts, that actually has like the first known depiction of a Grim Reaper. Basically, it's Father Time, but it's a really cool grave with really unique art. It's a full skeleton, and then Father Time. And it's very unique. It has one of the first graves that depicts the Jolly Roger on it, because they were pirates. And I know the histories of almost every single cemetery that is worth knowing around here. And I could probably be a tour guide for it. I definitely could. Sometimes I pretend to be, because, there are people, and I'm like, I'll do it for free. You want to know about it here? I'll do it. I didn't go this year, though. and I wish I had. Um, but yeah, like that's all, Kellyanne. I'm really dreading that. Both my parents, all of my, my adoptive and biological are all still alive, thank God. And my adoptive parents are quite old. Um, they adopted me when they were like 40, so they're in their 70s. But they're really healthy. So, I really have tried to not take them for granted because do you really, Kellyanne? That's yeah. Yeah, that's so you're in is that North Carolina? I believe it is North Carolina. Um and yeah, with my morbid career, I feel bad because I feel like, if I was over there, I probably would visit, but it would be to pay my respects because it's a case that I've followed and, she none of that should have happened. None of it. Um what a waste, Like unbelievable. Unbelievable the things that people are capable of doing to each other. I'll tell you. Um Yeah, I have dyslexia as well. There's like when I'm trying to read my I wrote a script for my last video and I kept switching the words. It took me so many tries, and at the end of it, I'm just like, screw it. If I stutter over these words, so be it, because we're just gonna put it out. Yeah, I've seen pictures of her memorial. It does look really, really nice. It looks like a really great, very well kept and really they were very loved. And you can tell. And it's a really I'm trying to think of the right word. Like it's pretty, I hate saying that like that. I don't know if that's the right word, but it is. It's peaceful. Peaceful. There we go. If yeah, you're on really. Oh yeah, you're there around there too, aren't you, Brittany? You have a real like some. I never would have put some of your voices to you. Like you have a southern accent, Brittany, for sure. Um, and there are some people's voices like Michelle's voice is really easy to listen to. I enjoy listening to Michelle. I didn't even know that was you up on panel that first time, because like nobody's names were there. But I had no idea that was you. I don't know who I thought I was listening to, but yeah, so do mine, Michelle. Mine definitely wear off at night and it makes it hard for me to kind of focus. That's also one of the reasons I was like, I don't know if I could do lives because I'll be all over the place. But the video, the one that I only released the first like 15 minutes of, the disaster that had an open chat that, was probably my most like, inflammatory video I've ever put out on here. And it was live that I thought you could pre-record them. And I thought you could just post them like a normal video. I didn't realize it was like a premiere with a chat. And the stuff that I was saying in that particular video, that I needed mods for that, for sure. But people only heard like the first 15 minutes, and a lot of people ran with that. And I probably should put the whole video out. I feel differently about some of the stuff now, though, in hindsight. So I'm not sure. Well, Michelle, I've heard that I sound like Nicole Kessinger. I do. I've heard that from multiple people, including you. So there's that. I was like waiting for that to be the next conspiracy theory that people ran with. That I'm not who I say I am. I was like, oh God, like please no. Unfortunately, people know, but people aren't as delusional as that sometimes I think. But that's good. That's always a good thing. That made me quite happy. Although, you never know, because I've heard all sorts of stuff about me that is so far from the truth, and people like thinking I'm doing all sorts of things. When the truth is I've never talked to these people ever, ever. So it's bizarre, guys. It's bizarre. Take everything you hear about people with a grain of salt. I'll tell you that. There are people here that and I think they call them shit stirrers. There are people here that just want to cause problems. They want people to be upset with each other. They want people to go after each other. They enjoy the chaos, or that's what I assume the motive is. And they do. They'll drag people into things that, had nothing to do with it. And nothing to do with it. And I don't know, guys. I don't know. I can't, I was kind of thinking it wasn't going to happen to me, but it did. So I was upset at first, but now I'm just like, whatever. That just means I'm important, right? It just means that I'm in the conversation. So yeah, I know I made it. I'm just kidding. I didn't. My channel's really small. Actually, my channel's taken quite a hit this past 2 weeks. I'll tell you that. Um, quite a big hit. And that's also disheartening, guys. It's like the minute somebody says something about you, you immediately lose so many subs. And that just tells you that people believe it without even, wanting to hear your side of the story. Nobody wanted to hear my side of the story. I tried. I was trying to defend myself in chat. Nobody wanted to hear it. And it just makes you think, like, I guess these people didn't like me in the first place. So in hindsight, it's like, all right, well, then I don't particularly want them here. But it's about lies. So that's what's so frustrating, I think. I mean, if you're listening to this on the replay or now and you're not subscribed to me, I would love to have you. I am a small channel, but we do a lot of cool stuff here. We're really chill. I really like this chat. I would, if I wasn't the creator on here, I would be participating in it for sure. It's low key, it's chill. We talk about all sorts of stuff, and I always enjoy the conversations we have on here. I think I'm being particularly boring tonight, but I think it's because I liked my live from last night. So if you haven't heard my live from last night, it's up there, and I think it's one of the best that I've done. I really spoke about a lot of things that I have wanted to speak about, or to just, well, you know what, that girl, the fact that you found me through that and you're still here means so much to me. I will thank you for that, because a lot of people, I did not feel the same. Let me tell you that. And have I eaten yet? No, I have actually a plate of cut up pears and apples next to me, but I haven't eaten them because I know people don't like to listen to me eat. And I have not eaten, but you get it because I think you probably take similar meds to me. So I don't usually eat till late at night. And I really should change that. Really should change that. But, yeah, there's like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not happy with the stuff that I'm seeing going on. And I wish it wasn't like this. But I did really enjoy the live. I listened to it actually like twice over because yeah, talk about numbers, right? Right? I was like, well, that would be one way to build my channel. I mean, good lord. No, I don't know if I'd want that, but that's a whole. I can't believe that there's still people covering that case the way that they are. That blows my mind. I don't care for that. I don't know how much more what else you can say about it. Like, I get it. Like, we all know what the conspiracy stuff is. We all know the facts of the case. I know the discovery by heart at this point. Like, what else is there to talk about? I really don't understand. And I like that girl. And I think most people do that. Good night, Roddy Mama. Thanks for stopping by. I think we had a great conversation today. For sure, for sure. I appreciate that girl, because a lot of people couldn't say the same. I couldn't tell you. There were people that the day before were really nice to me and were like, "Oh, I love your channel. You're doing such a great job. It's like great." And then as soon as those things came out of, like, that started happening, they all turned and were, making fun of me and just saying all sorts of stuff. And I was just like, "Oh my God." I can't imagine like just flipping on somebody like that entirely. I don't, no. But you know what? That's what, if people don't want to be here, I don't force people to be here. I appreciate each and every one of you because obviously we're here to grow our channels. I would love to grow my channel. I'll get there when I get there. I'm not in any rush. But I had been doing pretty well, and after all that went down, I did take a hit for that, and then there was another thing I took a hit for, and I was a little salty about it. Not gonna lie, I was a little salty. I think anybody would be, but yeah, right, that girl. Oh my God, yeah. I'm telling you, like, I feel like people would, yeah, because there's a lot of people that don't like her. For sure. Yeah. I'm not gonna cry about it. And I told my side of the story. I told what I needed to say in the live that I did. I think that very night. And at first I wasn't angry about it. At first I was just shocked and hurt. And then I got angry about it. And now I'm just kind of indifferent to the point where, like, I don't care about it, but I'm also not gonna go out of my way to befriend anyone who would do such a thing to me for no reason. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I just, I don't need that. But, if people wanna question who I am, if they wanna say that I'm not, all I say is, like, "Give me a chance. Come listen to my lives. Listen to what I'm about." And think for yourself. I think in time, people will see that I am here for why I'm here and I am who I am. But I think so many people here, including myself, have been burned where you think a creator's about something and all of a sudden it's the complete opposite. And sometimes you're able to kind of, be flexible about that. But other times it's stuff that really doesn't sit well with people and you've been burned trusting somebody or thinking somebody was like minded. So I get why people would feel that way about me. So I don't take that personally. But at the same time, Kellyanne, and I'm sorry too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna. Um, well, yeah, you can't win, Abby. You really can't. You really can't. Um, you can't. And I should have, but the thing about it is, I always like to see the best in people. I always like to and I also internalize things a lot too. I will, in my own head, turn things around that things I should be angry about, but I'll turn it around and blame myself. That's just kind of how I function, and I'm working on that because it's there are things that I shouldn't be okay with, and I shouldn't just put up with, and I shouldn't, you know, uh, say it's okay. And I've been really working on that with myself because the past 4 years, I have done so much work on figuring out who I am and why I have done some of the things that I've done in my life and accepting the fact that I've done those things and making amends with the people I've needed to in my real life because I've done some awful stuff. I have. I'll be the first to admit it. But that's not it was never who I was. It's hard to explain if you haven't been through it, but and I just the reason I didn't come on here and tell my story though about that is because I'm not a recovery channel. I wasn't really going to talk. I've talked a little bit about that kind of stuff, so that was what was really confusing to me. Because first of all, I've talked to many people about it privately, um, so it wasn't like only one person knew. And also, I've actually discussed it several times in my lives about the troubled teen industry. I've kind of gone into some detail about what I've struggled with, but I didn't think it was like necessary for me to come on here and talk about it. So yeah, yeah. Well, that girl. That's the other thing though. Is a lot of the time they don't do that. A lot of people don't do things out in the public. They do it behind the scenes. Um, and you really never know. There's been some things that I've seen recently that I've been surprised by, but I I challenge people to find anything that when the dust settles, people will see who's who, and I have to trust in that. I have to trust in that. I am trying to change my focus overall in some stuff. That's right. That's right. And it depends. It's I'm always kind of it depends what works, right? Like I'm gonna try to do things a little bit differently on here. I want to have discussions. I want to have some fun. I also want to have talks that are meaningful. But I also don't want to lose sight of the fact that a lot of people enjoy this chat because they can talk about what's going on in the community without feeling like they're gonna get attacked or jumped on, and we can have a calm conversation about it. So I don't want to lose sight of that. But I don't want to do that forever. I don't want to do that forever because, at some point, this is things that everything changes so quickly on here that, you think you figured something out, but then, things aren't always, it's too confusing. It's too confusing. And I can't keep up with it if I'm honest. I can see why people would want to have a research team. And that's because there are channels that are participating in this kind of stuff that I don't even know exist. So there might be something that happened on a channel and I have no idea because honest to God, guys, if I don't care for a channel, I don't subscribe them. There are some that I'll give a chance and I'll try to get into it and I'll give them a chance to see if they come out with some content that I like, or if I like the person, obviously I'll subscribe and to support them. Even if I don't like their content because I like them as a person. And yeah. So, and I try to be a member of things when I can. I used to have a lot more uh, disposable income than I do now. So I've kind of had to cut back on that, but I do still support where I can. And yeah, it is. It's the more you try, Brittany, the worse it gets. So Time will always reveal the truth. What happens in the dark always, always, always comes to light. It might not be anytime soon. It might not be. It might not be at all. But I'm just gonna trust that it'll get there. It'll get there. And when it does, and like I said, I think a lot of people really focus a lot on numbers. I've had people laugh at me because of my numbers. I have had people say that obviously I must suck because my numbers suck. And they don't, guys. I want to be very clear about that. My analytics are actually quite good for a channel my size. And you have to take it all the big picture. But if my channel grows slowly, it grows slowly. And I'm okay with that. And if it doesn't grow at all, I'll be a little disappointed. I'll be disappointed for sure. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So I'll figure out what's right for me, what's right, and really all I care about, guys. My loyalty at this point is to you guys. My loyalty is to the people that support me and come to my chats and watch my videos each and every day. So if there's something that people want to see, I would I want to give people opportunities to give their feedback, which is why I do a lot of these polls, because I want to figure out what you guys like, what you don't like. I don't want to be putting out content you don't like. That's pointless. Ultimately I'm here to entertain and to give people what they want. I'm pretty versatile. I could talk about all sorts of things. I could talk for 24 hours straight. I really could, about absolutely nothing and everything. So I want to give you guys what you want. I want to be able to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want my loyalty to be any creator. I don't owe anybody my loyalty with that. But that doesn't mean I won't be kind and courteous, and it doesn't mean I don't like people either. It doesn't mean that I don't support them. It just means that my loyalty is to my subscribers. It's to you guys, and to keep my channel a place that you enjoy and feel comfortable. And if I'm doing that at the end of the day, then I've done my job, and I can go to bed and feel accomplished. And yeah, I haven't eaten anything either, and I really, really should. I have homemade mac and cheese, which I'm kind of excited about because it came out really well. And then I have a giant plate of cut up pears and apples that I can't believe that much was just one pear and one apple. That looks like it was like 5 pears and 5 apples. And but I am going to get off of here and eat something because it's midnight. And yet again, I've come on here and talked and talked and talked and talked and talked. And yeah, yeah. I always do this too. Like, I shouldn't even come on here at this point and say, I'm only going to be on here for a little bit, because it's like, yeah, well, that's a lie. We all know better. We all know better. And I don't usually stay up this late. I usually, like, before I was doing YouTube, bedtime was 9 o'clock. And it's just that I had to wait until my, because once my, my ADHD kicks in, it's pointless for me to try to do anything. But so I figured I could come on here and give you guys my hyper talk a mile a minute self, which I do. So yes, but like I said, guys, I think I did a really good live last night. So if you haven't listened to that and you kind of want to hear a little bit about how I think about stuff going on, I highly recommend listening to it. Good night, SA. Thanks for stopping by. I always love when people like come in to say goodnight and let me know that they're listening. Because I actually, believe it or not, like, the fact that I get the views that I do shows that, or else people are listening to me twice, which I'm honored that people would do that too. It looks like, compared to how many subscribers I have, most of them will listen to my live and watch my content, which is awesome. That feels really good. And like I said, guys, it makes me sad and mad a little bit that people just believe everything that they hear and, are really quick to change their opinion on somebody, without, I don't know, because I know for a fact I've never done anything to some people or anybody really, especially, the people that I got that from. But, if it is what it is, it is what it is. And I'm not going to take it personally. I'm not. I'm just gonna let it go. If they wanna come back and hang out, I will be more than happy to have them here. There are some people that I really enjoyed having in my chat that stopped coming, for a variety of reasons, and that made me sad too, because there were some that really, really had really good points to participate, like when in the chat, and there's been a few points in my YouTube career so far where I have done something apparently either allegedly or I have done it that they don't want to listen to me after, but I hope that, maybe people give me another chance. We're gonna do some good stuff here. We are. I pinky promise, and pinky promises are serious. I don't break pinky promises. Yeah, and I think that you're right, Michelle. I try to do it in a way. I'm really paranoid that I'm like super boring tonight because I can be boring, I guess. Because I'm not talking about. I got all of that out of my system last night. And until I hear something that pisses me off, which I probably will when I get off of here, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm gonna go check up on everything, and I guarantee you for a fact, I know it in my bones, there's gonna be some nasty stuff going on right now. So I hope everybody gets a good night's sleep. Stay safe on those YouTube streets, guys. They are rough right now. Definitely like wear your helmet, like your arm pads, your knee pads, maybe like a bulletproof vest at this point. And I will probably see you guys tomorrow night because I'm trying to come on nightly. And I'm gonna have like topics though. Like I'm working on it. It's not gonna happen all at once, but I'm working on it. Because everyone's always like, what's the topic? And I'm like, everything. And it's kind of true. But I hope you all have a great night. I hope you all have a great Monday tomorrow morning. And I will talk to you guys soon.